Hey, everybody. Let me get this music turned off. All right. So, what's up, everybody? So, during my little hiatus, what I've learned is that more people watch um, my reruns of my shows than people that actually join me on here. So, we're going to learn. We're going to learn not to be disappointed because you don't see all those numbers up at the top. Because I learned that more people are watching me after, and then they're commenting. And my friend was like, "I was talking to you during your other show, and you were ignoring me." I was not ignoring him. I just it was an old show. So what I've been doing is I have been playing my old shows so that people can get used to seeing me again. And I'm trying to stay in this frame so that people can get used to seeing me again. So that's how we're doing that. So I'm not going to spend a long time going into where I've been and all that other stuff because it just wastes time and nobody cares. Did y'all hear that? Because they don't. Nobody cares. So I want to talk about today friends. So I wasn't on last week because as soon as I cut my computer on, it decided that that was the day that we were going to update. And so I put on an old show. And then I had a bunch of people come in the comments of that show. That's the one my friend came in on. He was like, "She ignoring me. I can't believe she's not talking to me." And I had some really good comments, some really good feedback. I would have liked it better if it was during my live, like right now. But I also like the fact that I can go back, read the comments, and really think about my responses to whatever we were talking about. So that's what we're going to do. I wanted to And so this Ride or Die is basically the same thing, talking about friends and the idea of a best friend, and how, in my humble opinion, and I know that people who know me will probably say, well, she just mad because she ain't got no friends, honey. Then I might be a little bitter. Let's just be honest, but I don't think I'm bitter. But that might be it. I don't know. We'll get some clarification on that. But I have in my years of experience, having a best friend, and especially watching people with best friends from the outside, it's just not something that I think is a good idea, having one best friend. If you saw me last night, I was on another person's live, and I was just saying that best friend sounds so good. It's so romantic. And it's just, I got my bestie and they got the little song and all that. But the problem with that is the only time that having one person in your life for something specific is when you're married. Outside of that, trying to see if anybody is going to be committed to you in that way is, I just don't understand it. I don't know. And maybe because I've always thought that something was wrong with me because I never had like a best friend. But in studying this subject, and in talking to other people, and in watching other people who had best friends their entire life, and then at some juncture, something happens, and now your best friend is the one having 50-story live, little TikToks, 50 part TikTok, telling all your business. And that is where I think having a best friend is the problem. Telling it's the same as putting all of your eggs in one basket. It's an issue. It's a problem. So whenever anybody comes up, just you can say hi in the comments, just to let me know you're there. But if you're shy, you don't have to. So I looked up the word friend. The word friend means a person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection. Typically, it's exclusive, and it's of a family or sexual nature. That is the definition that I found on my Google search. Okay. Then, in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, a best friend is a person's closest and dearest friend, a person's most desirable or valuable possession or resource. That's I thought that definition was weird until it made the example of diamonds are a girl's best friend. And then I thought about people and these ugly, oh my gosh, and these dogs that they love so much, or their car that they've named and they've done all these things with, or their hair or their shoe. It's weird, but people do have tangible possessions that they say are their best friend. So we're going to leave that at that. All right. So then I tried to look up a story biblically, because we're going to start there. And then we'll work our way from there on the ideas of best friend. So in the Bible, the friendship between David and Jonathan is a prominent story, where Jonathan, the son of Saul, formed a deep and loyal bond with David, a shepherd boy later chosen to be the next king of Israel. Now, this is the thing. So David was the best friend of Saul before he was the best friend of Jonathan, which was his son, because Saul was having nightmares and David played the lyre, which is basically like a guitar or a harp. And David's playing was so anointed that it could dispel the nightmares of Saul. Okay, so both of these, father and son, had found some good in David. Okay, so let's remember that. But because of Saul, uh, excuse me, Saul's insecurity and his need to be in the front of all things, he started to become jealous of David, and sought to kill him. This friendship is often cited as an example of selfless loyalty and covenantal commitment, because David had opportunities to kill Saul and just did not do it. He didn't take those opportunities to do so, out of his loyalty. And that's another thing about friendship. You are loyal to your friend. You are right. This is that you're a ride or die. But in that, we don't look and see if that person has that same kind of loyalty or that ride or die idea. Or I think sometimes people forget that your best friend has a best friend that's not you. And that's where another problem comes in. Okay? Because people are very possessive of their friends, especially people who are insecure, people who have maybe, and insecure is just the first thing that comes to mind. But I also think that a lot of people have told people things and know that that wasn't the person they should have told. And I guess that falls under insecurity also, and they stay in relationships, they stay in friendships with these people out of fear of the things that those people know about them. And then it's not a friendship anymore. And the bitterness grows. And the anger, the bitterness, the hatred, the dislike, all of these things start to grow. And we say nothing. We still go on trips. And this is what I think the problem is with these girl trips. So you miss out, you continue to do all these things, and you continue to be with each other for 10, 20, 30 more years. And it's sometimes why some people stay in marriages, because of those things. And you thinking, oh, they best friends and this, that, but when they get home, they sleeping in separate rooms. They're not speaking to each other. And that's a whole nother thing. So then I looked up jealousy. Jealousy is the feeling of resentment against someone because of that person's rivalry, success, or advantages. Whether these rivalries, the success, let's say the rivalries and advantages are perceived or real, or if they're perceived or if they're real. People become jealous of things because their perception is that person is a rival to them. Their perception is that person is more successful than them, and it's not earned. Their perception is that that person has more advantages than they do, but they can't put their finger on it. And that's their perception. That perception may be just something that somebody else said to them, and it's just not even, or it just is not real. And that's where jealousy comes in. Jealousy is this thing that people that people have against other people. And I think most of the time, when people are jealous of another person, they have no idea who the other person is. Not as a person. They might have heard some things. They might have seen something and saw it in the wrong light. But most times when you're jealous of somebody, you have no idea either how hard that person worked, or what that person has been through, or what that person has had to do to get to wherever they've gotten to. So jealousy is this thing that is, first of all, is mostly unwarranted. And the other thing about jealousy is that it's usually something that is going on, and it is it's usually something that is going on and is being done, and people have it with no real evidence of whatever it is they think about the other person. So it's just, and it's a waste of time, Because the time that you're spending being jealous is the time that you could have been spending getting to know that person, to see if whatever you thought about them, whatever you perceived that you thought about them was real. Okay. So I looked up what being with a toxic person would be, what that's like. So I'm going to give you a little bit of and I pulled a couple of articles, so we're just going to be going back and forth between those. So we are living in a time when, as parents, oh, this is the one with the children, honey. This is the ride or die and the toxicness with the children. So I'm gonna get back with that one. Let's talk about the toxic concept of a best friend. This was an article, excuse me, that was published in October of 2022. It's a heartwarming concept. So for decades, we've been presented with the concept of a best friend, an iconic duo that prioritizes each other over everything else. A best friend is the person who will always pick up the phone, drop everything for you, and be your sidekick throughout any adventures. Now, when you say that that's my best friend, whatever, does that person do that for you? Or are you the only one that dropped what you're doing? Or when you call, it's my kids, my husband, my man, my the church, the bills, the light. So when you call that best friend the way that she calls you, do you drop what you're doing? And does the other person reciprocate? Because then it's not even. I have a friend and we drove trucks together, and I love this young man. And I was telling him about this other friend I had, and the other friend was just, he just was never available. He always needed, and you know what he asked me? He asked me, what do you get out of your friendship with that person? And I got off the phone with him, and for a couple of days, I sat and I thought about it. Nothing. That's what I got. I got nothing. He got all of my advice, all of my time, because I wouldn't answer my phone for nobody else when this other person called. He wasn't a boyfriend or anything. He was just my friend. And he used to preach, and he got all of my ideas. I was writing stuff. He was taking classes. I was doing his work. This guy was, I started driving trucks, and he would help me out driving trucks because he was a truck driver, and all of these things and all of this stuff. But when I needed, I couldn't get. And I thought we were building this relationship because, like I said, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend, but we were getting to know each other and all of this other stuff. And right at the end, he married somebody else. Ain't that something? He married somebody else, and it shocked me because I didn't know he was even talking to anybody else. But this is what happens when you're in a relationship with somebody and you're thinking that that's your best friend, and their best friend is somebody else. All right. They're the one you should call to help you if you had to bury the body, or you're plus one at any events. Okay. It does sound really good to have someone in your life that can be the case. Wait a minute. Who have their designated best friend. Many others don't fit into this cookie cutter mold. You can be left feeling like you're the issue. You're the strange one for not having a best friend. And that's how I felt most of my life. I felt like most of my life that something was wrong with me. Something was wrong with me because I could not keep a friend long enough for us to be best friends. But don't get that misinterpreted with the fact that they knew things that best friends should know, because I'm a sharer. I talk a lot. And so And that's how I felt. The concept of a best friend may be toxic, maybe a toxic one that does more harm than good. And that's what I believe. I think that the idea of having a ride or die or a best friend beyond somebody that you're married to is a problem. One of the first things that I think about when I think that that's a problem is this. One of the main is the concept of a best friend. So toxic is the sheer responsibility it places on another person. The responsibility that you place on another person. Um, oh, the kind of responsibility that you would place on another person to be able to carry your burdens, to be able to hold your secrets, to be able to comfort you and be there at the drop of a hat. Everybody can't do that. And when I tell you it's rare, it is rare. But you put that responsibility on another person, and we talking about people, we talking about humans, they're going to disappoint you at some point every single time. And so then you have to compromise. Am I going to stay friends with this person? Or am I going to just leave this thing alone? You are asking someone to be your everything, to be the person you always complain to, the person you ask for advice, the person you share all your stories with, and the person you rely on. All of those things are great in a marriage. But when you're talking about a person that lives separately from you, and you're giving and you're piling on this responsibility to them, they're going to disappoint you every time, because that's what people do. People disappoint. Not saying that your spouse is not going to disappoint you, because that's coming, honey. But I'm saying in a marriage, there is supposed to be, let's say supposed to be, there's supposed to be a commitment made under the eyes of God or whoever you worship. Best friends don't have that kind of commitment. They don't have that spiritual contract that you have as a married couple. And so, but you give them, you want to lay on them that kind of responsibility. And the thing is, we can't be everything to everybody. And then we have, and you can't be everything to everybody and still be what you need to be to yourself. That's the thing. You can't always be available to someone and give them the time, the energy, and the emotional support that they need at any given moment. It's not possible. You can do it in a marriage because y'all with each other when you're not at work, and when you live in a house with somebody, which is where you spend most of your time. So you got time. You have the you can give the emotional support. You can give the time. You can give the energy. Because y'all going to get in that bed together. We talking about in a healthy marriage. And so to try to glean this from another person who is still trying to live their life is not fair. It's not fair. And then when by the time you realize it's not fair, by the time you realize that it can't get done, it's going to be too late, because now you hurt. And now people ain't no good. And now you go on a girls' trip, and everybody on the girls' trip turned against you because they had a private meeting that you wasn't privy to, and now everybody won't fight. Because what should have happened is this friendship should have ended years ago. I'm just talking, and I'm not just talking about this best friend friendship. I'm talking about the friendship period. When you first start seeing and please don't tell me that you didn't notice that she was jealous. Don't tell me that because you know people, especially people you've been around for a very long time. We ignore the signs. We let them or ourselves or another friend talk us out of seeing the truth in another person. And this is something I talk about all the time. We always talk about we're diamonds or we're onions and we're layered. You should have a friend for each facet or each layer of who you are. I talk about this all the time. You have to, I have different people in my life that do different things for me emotionally, spiritually, um, um, mentally, man, and let's be truthful, financially. You understand? I know if I call a certain person or this person, they're not gonna let me borrow. But I know if I call this other person, I can borrow, and I can probably get away without paying it back. Now we can sit on this little thing here and pretend like you would, that you don't do that and you don't owe nobody. We can do it, but you do that on your thing, and I'm gonna tell you the truth on mine. And I have different people that do for me in my in my life differently, especially when it comes to me, my emotional well-being, my mental, even my physical. Got a nurse on standby. Somebody gonna answer the phone. You understand? And so that's what we need to have in our life instead of trying to dump all of this on one person. I don't say that. I'm not talking about marriage. I'm gonna say that again. Because when in marriage, it should be give and take. Now, if you're in a marriage and you're the only one giving it, then your marriage is not healthy anyway. And that's a whole nother subject. Right now, we're talking about this so-called best friends and these ride or dies. I may not have a best friend, but I have half a dozen very close friends that are equal to me. I have a unique friendship with each of one of them. They bring out a different side of me, and we discuss shared interests that I don't have with other people. And that's what you need to have in your life. This idea of having a small circle and just having one or two people in your life that you ride or die with or whatever, and you don't want nobody else and you don't need nobody else, it's a problem. That's a problem. And it's not healthy. And then you have to deal with the you have to talk about the people who keep coming on this app and other apps bragging about the fact that they love being alone. And I say this on every platform, every last one of them, all of them. And I'm going to look at you with all four of these eyes and tell you flat-footed, you're a liar. You're a liar. I'm not saying everybody likes to be alone. Me, when I go shopping, I like to be by myself because you're not going to rush me. You're not going to tell me when you're ready to go. When I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. We're not going to be flitting from one place to the next because that's what I don't like that. So when I go shopping, I don't call nobody and say, do you want, I don't do that. I might do it if I go eat, but a lot of times I don't like nobody to go with me when I eat either because I'm listening to a book or I'm writing or something. But to say that you enjoy being in that house by yourself all the time, you're a liar. And sometimes it ain't nothing else to say. You're a liar. You lie. Because the times when you have good news and you scrolling through your phone trying to call somebody and nobody answering, that's heartbreaking. Or when you so hurt that you can't breathe and you scrolling through your phone and nobody answering, it's heart-wrenching. And so you telling me that you signed up for that because you just can't nobody get you, or nobody really like because these women is just jealous. Girl, let me tell you something. Boy, let me tell you something. A lot of people are not cut off from you. God ain't put you in no seat. People just don't like you. I know you don't want to hear that. Then I know people say it sounds harsh, but I'm gonna tell you the truth, straight up. They just don't like you. I realize that most people don't like me. A lot of people don't like me because I'm too open. I talk a lot about me. I talk a lot about life. I talk a lot about everything. But the thing that really pushes people back, especially women, is the fact that I don't have 15 faces. You understand? My mama tried her best. Trisha tried everything she could to make me have these 2 or 3 different people in me. You know, one for the white people, one for her friends, one for that's what my mama wanted me to do. I don't have it. I'm like this all the time. Unless I'm going through a bout of really deep depression, I'm like this all the time. I'm like this all the time. I'm this open. I'm this this is me. I'm like this all the time. And as women, our mothers try to teach us that men like very shy, not very shy, men like women that are more submissive kind of thing. And that's the thing. In my relationship, I'm submissive. And I had friends who had boyfriends, wouldn't let me. I've never met their boyfriends. And let me tell you something. This is my face. You understand? This ain't the prettiest girl in the room. And right now, I ain't got no lashes or nothing on. I got my contacts in, but I don't have no lashes on. I just dyed my hair today, which is why I look so stiff, because it's got so much conditioner. I got to wash it out. But anyway, so this is me. I had a double mastectomy. I ain't never had no ass. My fupa takes precedent over many a thing. You understand? And so it wasn't how I looked. It was how I presented myself that a lot of women find. Now, see, in order for them to feel justified in how they were, would introduce me to their facts. It not just boyfriends, it's people. Is because, you know, she flirt too much, or she did. I don't flirt with other people, men. I don't want nobody else, man. I've never been that type of person. But I've always been me. I've never walked into a room ever since I can't say ever, but since I came to know that I had a voice around 48, 49, and I drove trucks for a minute. I don't walk into a room and have to see and assess anything, because when I walk into a room, I change the atmosphere of that room to suit me. If whatever going on in there is too strong for me, and I can't acclimate myself, I can't find a place for myself, then I take my ass home. But nobody's spirit going to override mine. So when I walk into a room, I walk into a room confident that I can talk, sit down, walk by anybody I want to, and have a conversation of the intelligence that I learned with my college degrees. That's it. I walk into a room, it is where I want to be, is what I want it to be. And a lot of people can't do that. And a lot of people are intimidated by that. They're not intimidated by me or how I look or anything like that. But another thing about people with me is I don't have to be the funniest one in the room. I don't have to be the loudest one in the room. But sometimes it just happens that that's what happens. Because I don't hold back myself. I'm not trying to impress nobody with me. I'm just gonna be me. And and growing up as a woman, I watch women shrink themselves into this and wrap themselves into this shape. And I've seen the most confident of women do it because they want everybody to be comfortable. I don't give a damn. I don't care if you're comfortable or not. That's on you. That's what you got going on. Because up until I was 48, 49, I'm 56 now. I was the one, whatever talent I had, I shrunk it and rolled it up and put it in a box. And you know what it got me? Nothing. It didn't get me more friends. It didn't get me more, it didn't give me anything. It got me nothing. And when it was my time and my need, I got nothing. And so having a best friend, and it's only one person, is dangerous for one. The second thing about it is that you shouldn't put that responsibility on nobody except a spouse. And I'm gonna tell you about the children in a minute. Excuse me, y'all. How long? All right, we got a little less than 30 minutes. Probably got, less than 15. We're not gonna be on here that long because I didn't want to wear y'all out. All right. And the other thing that's dangerous, this is what's the dangerous thing, is that your best friend may not just be your best friend. You understand what I'm saying? Your best friend has a best friend. And this is where the problem comes in. Because a lot of times, your best friend's best friend is somebody that you don't care for. So what you think they're talking about when they had one or too many drinks? Because maybe when your friend is sober, she can say, girl, I don't talk about her. But what happens when the drinks start flowing? What happens when you make her mad because you ain't answer your phone all day because you laid up under some Negro? This is where the problem comes in. If you're happy giving another person such a big role in your life, then you should do so without no expectations. Some people have more friends than others, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of my friends are far more extroverted than I am. Well, I'm reading this article. Most people that I know are shyer than I am. They're more introverted than I am. I'm not an introvert. Though I love being by myself when I do certain things. I love being at home. I don't like people. I've never been a person to go sit in somebody's house all day and all day and half the night. And I know my pastor would probably say, oh, excuse me. But to me, that was different because it was family. But I've never been a kind of person where I would get up or want to go sit up in somebody's house or somebody's face all day. And I definitely wouldn't want them to do it in mine. Because when I go somewhere, in 20 minutes, I'm ready to go. And I know that's awful. Somebody come over here and we eat. And once I pack the food, I'm ready for y'all to be out the house. Because I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. And that's just how I am. And it ain't the people. It's me. It's me. It's just, and I don't like going places where there are a bunch of people. There's a certain time where I don't want to do this no more. It just bothers me. So I'm trying to think if I really want to go into these. I think I might save these for something else. Because I was talking, this one was going to be about having friends at work. I don't believe that you should have friends in the place that you work. I think you should build a good network, have a couple of people that you can call on if you're not going to be to work and you need somebody to do your shift. But other than that, I just don't think that, because I think it's very few people that I probably just haven't taken them off. None of my coworkers are on my Facebook or TikTok or any other platform. None of my church people, except it might be some that's still on there from way long time ago, are on my Facebook or TikTok. Nobody that I have to do business with and I go to work, they're not on my Facebook or my TikTok, because how you know me at work is different than how I would be at home. And so I don't want you to know me that way, because then there's no separation from home and work. And it's not easy, because I love people. I like talking, but there's a point where I'm not going to deal with you at work the same way I deal with somebody at home. So I don't have them on there. And then I used to have a bunch of people and it just intermingled. But then it came to the point where people were telling me what I should and should not say on my platform. And that's where I drew the line. That's where I drew the line. Because what you're not going to do is tell me what to say when I'm not at work, or I'm not sitting in church, or we're not doing that. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. I'm not doing it. So we're not on here that long. And another reason I didn't want to do it, that when I don't want to do it this long without interacting, is because I want people, when people watch this, I don't want them to be watching it forever. But I want them to be able to go into the comments and say whatever they're going to say. And then I'll read them and then I'll respond. But this was fun. This is the first time I've done this in a very long time, and I really miss doing it. So I'm really trying to build up my platform. I'm going to send out another oldie but goodie on tomorrow. It might be the same one. I just want you to look at it and get used to seeing me at 8:00 on Tuesday nights. If you're used to watching me during the day. So thank everybody on my Facebook platforms. Thank everybody on my YouTube channels. I have 2 of them. I have The Takeover, and I have Black Honey, and I have Uppity Negro on Fan Base, which is my first time ever being able to go live on here, and also on my and I'm on StreamYard. So I appreciate one person stayed the whole time. Whoever that is, thank you. If you DM me or however you can get in touch with me, I'll send you whoever that is, I'll send you a free gift for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble. I know that my rhythm is a little off, and so I have to get my rhythm back. But this was a good experiment, and because I still really enjoyed myself. So thank y'all for coming. And like I said, whoever this person is that's been on this live with me all this time, DM me, hit me up, and I'll send you a free gift. Y'all know I like giving gifts, so I'll send you a free gift. And but I appreciate y'all. So thank you over here on StreamYard. I'm gonna end this one first. Oh, hold on, Loretta. Wait a minute, Loretta. Don't go nowhere. All right. So I didn't really expect anybody on StreamYard because that was my first time. Hi, Loretta Owens. How are you? You see me on the YouTube channel. I don't want you to put your personal stuff up here. So do me a favor and go to Uppity Negro on Facebook, or you can go to TikTok, which is what is my thing on TikTok? I don't even, hold on. All I really want you to do is send me your information so I can send you some stuff. I'm gonna send you some stuff in the mail. Oh, you know what? Don't do that. Hold on, Miss Owens. Here is my email address. Please email me Bobby your clothes size, your shoe size, because I have a bunch of stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna send you yet. your shoe size, your clothing size. That's it. And I'm gonna send you a whole box of stuff. And I appreciate you coming on. Did you have any questions or anything you wanted to talk about? I hope you enjoyed the show. But like I said, it's new for me and it's new for everybody else. I haven't been on here in a long time, and I'm getting ready to go. So email me, please, ma'am, and I will send you a love package. Everybody knows I like to give gifts, so that's what I'll be doing. And thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for listening to me stumble through this. If you come back next Tuesday at 8 o'clock, it does get better, I promise. And keep an eye out on my on Uppity Negro on Facebook and on YouTube, and I'll be putting out some of my older videos from years ago, from 2 or 3 years ago, so that you can see the gist of how much better it was. My rhythm is way off, but I had a good time. Again, like I said, if you email me, is that email yet? If you email me, I will send you a love package of gratitude that I wasn't sitting here talking to myself. All right. Thank you so much for coming. Thank everybody else who's going to be watching this later. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Miss Owens. I appreciate you.